Hello, welcome back. This is Insidious Conspiracy Theories. I have the ghost with me tonight. And to answer one of the things from the other day that I said I'd get back to, so I did look up the other two. Um, if you have a router, it's 5G. No, that does not cause cancer. It's scientifically proven that it is non hazardous to your health. But scientists have been wrong before, so I wouldn't rule it out. But
Dude,
anyways,
they say Starlight can cause cancer. So
yeah, that was the
everything causes
conspiracy
cancer.
behind it. The 5G routers in your house, they put up a magnetic field, and it said there was a conspiracy to cause cancer, but that has been ruled out. So there's that. And Chief, I see you. I'm in here, dumbass. Really? He's in the. Oh wait,
I
it's
see him. I
Monday.
see him.
So we have a time delay tonight, by the way. Really?
I just went on Facebook, and the first thing that pops up is our stream. Yay!
But anyways, so the other one was a metal ball that was found in 1970s,
What?
and they said that it was to believe to be alien, which wasn't proven. It
Good night,
was a different
folks.
type of metal, which I'm thinking Florida, World War II is probably a freaking cannonball or something, and it was probably misformed as it doesn't actually show you a picture of the thing. It just gives you a description. So, anyways, they're not really sure what it is, but they know it's not a metal of supposedly of this earth. I got nothing on that, but so they're unsure of what it is.
Yeah. My question, this, I got nothing on that. Um,
So what do
yeah,
you got?
I'm just, I'm, honestly, I've just been following what's been going on in Idaho. Personally, I mean, I've been watching every day, trying to see if they got an update on if they caught a killer or not yet. But because I think most people at this point know, and those that haven't, those that just live under a rock. Let's see, it was in Idaho on a college campus. 4 people were killed, and yet they don't even know who. They don't even got anything on it. Let's see.
I heard something about that. Um,
It was in Musk. It was in Moscow, Idaho, and the University of Idaho. There was 4 people killed, and they said that they were killed with a knife. And it's been 2 weeks since, and they still. I mean, they've had some people in for questioning, but they still don't got a suspect.
well, the
And most
problem
people
is,
know that. And most people know with it's usually you get something within the first 48 hours of a crime.
well, that
It's now
depends
been
if they
2 weeks.
they
Now it's
were
been
randomed, if they were randomly attacked, and this is just random attack. More than likely, he probably had a face covering, probably wore gloves, so that ruled out fingerprints, and
well,
probably. And who said it was a student? If it was random, it wouldn't be a student.
well, they don't think it was random anymore. They believe that they were targeted. They just don't know why.
Well, then that's a pretty big coincidence now, isn't it? I mean, if you're going out and telling them that they're targeted, but we don't know why, okay, that's
Well,
like
we're not. They're not
don't make
releasing it to
sense.
the public. The reason that according to what I read, they're starting to minimize how much they're releasing to the public. And the reason I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, is because they want somebody to come forward with some information that would help hey, anybody that can help us lead to this person, we would really appreciate it. They probably don't want someone giving them a phone call of the exact same details that's already been on the news. They want someone to tell them something that they don't know that hasn't been released in the news. That way they can believe it's a legit source and maybe find the killer.
Well,
So
the
I'm just
problem is if you ain't got a clear description, how are you going to find anybody?
last I read, they were going through phones. They were talking to the victim's family, trying to see if there was a connection at all. Uh, I mean, I hope they catch the dead. I mean, I'm kind of curious on what happened, but
Chief,
uh,
something tells me you're wanting in on this.
no, something tells me he. Look, I'm just going to also warn everyone right now. If for some reason I get cut out, the internet at my place has been funky. I mean, you guys probably noticed that yesterday during the football podcast, but I don't know what the dealio is, but my internet's just been lately. So just to warn you on that. Anywho, I don't think Chief really cares about what's going on in Idaho. But what's your take?
My take is it sounds random.
You think it's random, even though the cops think they were targeted?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. All the we're having some
Yes,
technical
Twitch is
difficulties
having
on some
problems.
Twitches.
So
Yeah.
So Twitch is having problems. So if you're watching me on Facebook, you probably are. If you're watching me on YouTube, which you probably are, there'd be a reason for that. Twitch is having problems at the moment. So it isn't just Chief, it's all of them. Time delay on Twitch tonight, and it's everywhere. It's all of them. I had reports for all of them there, Chief. It wasn't just yours, it was all.
Is there a way I
Every one of them I posted on for Twitch, I got delayed. So, okay. Good luck. Speaking of conspiracy, Twitch, conspiracy. You made the list. But back to the Idaho topic. Me personally, yes, I think it's random. I don't think that they are connected, and I don't believe it was a student, because if it was, there would already be a suspect. People would already know who it is. There would already been talked. And I think that's where that would come in from. There would already be, the guy would have said something somewhere. It would have been planned. It would have been orchestrated. The guy wouldn't have kept his mouth shut. He would have told somebody. That's why I don't believe he was a student. And I do believe these attacks were random.
Hey, since our streaming, you know what? I'm gonna.
Chief says they're now everywhere, so we should be good.
No, it's not that. It's just shit.
So if anybody,
I try to add it to my face. I try to add it to my Facebook page as well. Unfortunately, the max is 8, and that means I'd have to deactivate one. But I guess I can just deactivate my streaming one. But
so if anybody out there watching has anything to add on the Idaho thing, if you have been following and you have want to share your opinions and be a part of this discussion, hit in the comment. It'll pop up. We'll respond. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with random. That's just where I'm going with it. I know the cops are saying that they are connected somehow, but Chief, clue him in what happened.
What?
Chief wants to know what happened.
On what?
Idaho. Fill him in.
Oh. Okay. I'm surprised he doesn't know. About 2 weeks ago, there was a killing up in Moscow, Idaho, at the University of Idaho. 4 people were killed. They believe it was with a knife. 3 girls and 1 male. They were all stabbed to death, and they're off-campus residents. Cops at this point still have not even identified a suspect or even located the murder weapon, so you know it wasn't suicide because they would have found the murder at the rip at the scene.
Unless you're in Wapello County, Iowa.
There's a lot of hatred and anger. They believe because of the violent nature of the crimes, believe it was. See, here's the thing. They believe with the amount of hatred and drive with the killings, it had to have been personal. Therefore, they don't believe. That's one reason why they don't think it was random. The level of violence, the resolve, the hostility of the attack makes it seem like it was a personal attack. It's too much intensity. There was hateful and rage behind it. So there was two. Ethan, who is one of the victims, is 20. Yeah, maybe I should. And then there was three girls. I'm not going to say their names. 2 were 21, 1 were 20. They believe they were stabbed to death on 3 to 4 a.m. on November the 13th. They do believe they were targeted, but they don't know why they'd be targeted. So they're trying to. They think one of them may have had a stalker. They're throwing so many.
So yeah, we're kind of going back and forth. I believe that it was random.
But don't you think that the killing was way too
brutal?
It's too violent. Yeah, it's too violent to be random.
People go on steroid rages all the time and do acts of violence with
acts of violence. Yes, but there's a difference between 1, 2, 3 kill and then you're dead. But then you got these. It's more brutality. There was they wanted to make sure they were dead. There was more rage involved.
Well, like I said, I don't know. I don't think it could still be random. It could just be a serial killer type of guy.
Michael or Jason?
Guy. Who says it's a guy? Could be a female, heartless female.
Ooh, just saying. That's an interesting. There's the conspiracy theory right there. Could be a female. I mean, people are. Did you know that there is no? As far as I know, there's not really a psychological profile for the female serial killer, because most people think that females can't do it. They have that maternal instinct. They're loving, but not these days.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. We're so quick to judge and say it's a man.
Well, the problem is, despite how people may think, English does not have a gender-neutral term. And I'm not using the word they, because then that makes me think that there's plural. There's more than one killer. So I just say he until I'm, proven that's a woman, I guess. I mean, quit it. I got a dog. My dog's been chewing on her elbows, and she's ripped most of her fur off because she has an itch.
Now, there's a conspiracy theory. Why?
Well, Doc thinks she has allergy.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility with the Ohio thing. It could be a man. It could be a woman. For all we know, it was a werewolf.
Idaho.
But all seriousness, when something like that happens, it makes you question humanity a little bit.
How so?
We're put here to love each other, not hate each other in a violent way where it makes us want to, we fight, we argue, we have different opinions, different points of views, but doesn't it make you question humanity on just how far some people will take things?
No, because there's been good people and evil people since the dawn of time. I mean, the first murder was Cain murdering his brother Abel. I mean, there's, I mean, how far back do you really want to go? There's always been good and evil.
Yeah, but good and evil aside, but doesn't it make you question humanity? Like, are we evolving the way we should be evolving?
No, it doesn't. And here's why. It doesn't. Here's why. I believe all this stuff has always been around. It's just that with first the radio, newspaper, or the town crier back then, hear ye, you know, the town crier doing the gossips, and then you got the newspaper, and then you got radio, then television, then the internet, now social media, regular media, social media. It's not that it's hasn't changed. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know if it's really changed or if you can't hide anymore.
I think the part I was looking at, like, shouldn't we evolve like beyond killing and found a new way to settle things?
Dude, I continue that thought because I got one for you.
That is my thought. I think about it all the time, actually. It's like you can't throw the gloves on and step into a boxing ring. You got a problem with somebody? Put the gloves on, man. I mean, it's easier that way. And guess what? There's people there that can help you if you get seriously hurt. And guess what? You're no longer mad at each other. You got it all out.
So they say.
Well, it's always worked for me.
Yeah. Police were called after a shot rang out near a house in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Saturday during the Thanksgiving weekend. A family were playing Monopoly, broke out during the game, which caused the board to get flipped over, a man to pull out a gun and chase his in-laws down the street, shooting at them.
Like
so
I
does that
said,
help with your evolution of society?
No, that guy said that makes me question humanity.
It makes me question why people stop. No, I'll tell you. You know what? Here is my theory on all this. 40-some years ago, let's see, we're now in 2020. I would say, no, 30 years. 1995, parents stopped being parents. They cared more about what the government said than they did about being parents. And they started this whole, we'll just be our kids' friends and all that nonsense. And now the problem is these kids are now these kids are adults and they're now realizing that shit don't go their way. You know, people stopped being parents about 2 decades ago, and now we're paying the price for it now. And thanks. And it's only getting worse.
Well,
I mean, I am seeing kids, 6, 7, 8-year-olds at Walmart calling their parents bitches, cussing at them, doing like that. And let me tell you this much. I am a 36-year-old man. If I ever call my mom a bitch today, I ain't going to be able to sit for a week. My dad will make sure of that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he'll spank me. He'll beat me up.
Well, I was actually going to say, if I ever said that to my mom, I wouldn't be getting a sore ass. I'd be picking myself up off the floor.
Well, you know what I meant.
With a bloody mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shit I remember.
Yeah, there's no respect these days, and that's the problem. And you know what it comes down to?
You know, I can relate.
Lack of self-respect. Lack of self-respect. These kids don't respect themselves, so they don't respect others.
Well, I was actually going to agree with you on this note because me and Chief, we play Call of Duty and we hear these kids. F this, F that, and we have heard, and I'd be like, "You're too young to be talking that way. You're not my dad." And I'm like, "No, because if I was, you'd be getting your mouth washed out with soap."
Well, if you're a dog, if I was your dad, I'd be beating your ass and not letting you play a video game for a month.
But it's like, wow, we've all done so.
Now, for people out there, we don't condone actually beating your kids. We're talking about good old fashioned
Ass kicking.
answers. You
No.
know what we mean.
I'm gonna go with Adam Calhoun on this. Hand up a Bible, a little bit of this, and a little bit of this, and it'll go.
Oh, that's the thing. I'm trying to keep religion out of this, but you take a look around where places you take God out of the situation, things go downhill very fast, and you can say, "Oh, I'm being religious," but just take a look at the reflection of the world around you. Take a look at godly areas versus ungodly areas, and tell me you don't see a difference.
Actually, I was going to say most of it starts with church. Church teaches you respect. Way before your school ever teaches you respect, you learn that at church.
You're supposed to learn it at home, and then you learn it.
No, church actually explains it better, and you should know because you've been to Sunday school as a kid, like I have.
Yeah, but they
break down what's one of the commandments. You do not disobey mother and father. You respect them. So that's something. What the hell are you wearing?
My hoodie.
Something. Anyway. Don't do that. You will have people definitely thinking the opposite. You see
that? First off, Hugo, does this answer your question? I've been lurking in here the entire time. Anywho, yeah, one of the guys that me and MCS game with messaged me and asked where I was.
I'm gonna say I don't see his chat.
I think he's watching on Facebook.
Aha.
So you were discussing kids not learning respect. Now, I've known Ghost.
He had to put his lipstick on.
It's lip balm, idiot. My lips are chapped.
That's what he wants us
I have known Ghost for, I'm just going to say 30 years because it'll be 30 in 6 months. Anywho, for 30 years, if me and him called our dad a name, our mom a name, we got our asses handed to us left and right.
Well, if we called each other's mom a name, we would get our asses whooped.
There was one time my mom heard me on the phone calling Ghost an asshole. I hung up and got my ass handed to me for calling someone a year younger than me an asshole.
But I am an asshole. But fair enough.
But the funny thing is, a day later, I hang up and she looks at me, "Are you on the phone with that asshole?" I'm like, "You just beat my ass yesterday for calling him an asshole. And here you are calling him an asshole." I looked at my dad. I'm like, "Dad, she needs her butt whooped. Why? She just called Michael an asshole." He starts laughing. Yes, the kids these days don't know how to respect their elders. At all.
They don't know how to respect themselves.
All right, now when you guys say elders, you're making me feel old, and I'm not liking that too well. So
I'm the oldest one in here, so shut up.
Yeah, well, you're the one with the gray hair.
There's a difference between there's elder and then there's just randomly. Did you know that in some cultures that teenagers are given special respects? In Japan, all kids, elementary school level, they're required to call teenagers that go to high school or college Nichan, which means big brother. They're told at a young age to respect people that aren't even adults. Give them the respect they earn because
kids-
they understand that in that culture what respect means. And the problem is, people in this case, they don't.
I have a question.
What's that?
Is this conspiracy theories or rants?
I think we kind
Hey,
of.
in all fairness, you two started this.
It is a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy
No,
theory
we
and a
switched
rant.
to a
A
rant.
little bit of both. How is
No,
it not a
this is-
conspiracy theory? How is it not a conspiracy theory? We're
Because
talking
it's
about
right.
things that may be false and right and wrong. I mean, I don't know. Maybe conspiracy theories and rants can go together. I don't know. We're talking about a problem in society, and we're conspiracing what the problem is. You got your pick, I got mine.
Well, the problem is it ain't much of a conspiracy if you know what the problem is. Kids are out of control.
Yeah, but people will say, "Oh, it's just us not understanding. Little minds aren't."
Chief,
That
I don't
good.
like it when you freeze because something tells me you're making something.
Mm. Well, here's the other. You know what? Let me tell you something. Have you ever watched any of those old movies like Old Yeller or Tom and Huck or any of the? Well, not maybe they're old, but I mean they're based in the older days, like the 1800s.
I don't know, but you bring up Old Yeller, you're reminding me of a time where I was about maybe 5 feet tall, going to the public library and written this movie over and over again.
Point is, you see kids in those movies, they always say yes sir, no ma'am, and you can tell the times have changed, and not necessarily for the better. I mean, and that's just how it is. And then back to the conspiracy. Now back to the whole shooting, or not shooting, stabbing. I mean, that's another thing. They use a knife. I mean, and there's no way he killed all four in one setting, because you would think that he'd get overpowered at one sense. I mean, that's another reason why I think they were targeted, because I think he had to hunt them all down.
Not really. Let's say for a second, I agree with you. And this wasn't random, okay?
Mhm.
This was planned out, like I originally said.
Mhm.
What if he had them all just meet in one area, started with the weaker one and worked his way over?
If they're all in one area, they would have overpowered him.
Not if he's in a rage, they wouldn't.
It's a knife. It's a knife. Trust me, 4 people versus 1 person with a knife, you'd win.
Have you not seen what some people that play with knives can do with a knife?
It's still 1 person with
You need
one
to watch
hand.
some YouTube videos of what people can do with a knife.
Okay, unless they're Jackie Chan, I'm pretty sure we could take them.
You don't think there's people out there that don't spend a lot of time just playing with knives? You are mistaken. Wait a minute. Anyone who has commented, if we haven't seen, we are sorry. Some stream platforms are having issues.
Weather? It's like 40 degrees. It's like 30 degrees out there. It's just
25.
Oh, I'm sorry. Point is, it's
There's
not
a
that bad out
conspiracy.
there.
The weather, the only job in the world where you can lie and get paid for it.
I've received 4 messages stating that people are commenting and they're not posting up, just so you know.
All right, well, read us the comment.
I'm
And
telling
it's
this.
all on Facebook.
On whose page?
Well,
I don't know. I'm getting ready to find out. Give me a minute.
Because they got
All
3
right,
pages up there.
who's going to read these out, and we will respond to them.
See if I can find them.
But anyways, if he had them all meet in one location, which means he probably did know his assailants, then yes, it would be very easily to do. But I'm not going to say that they weren't targeted, because I'm definitely going to say they probably were. But I just think random sounds better. And to me, because maybe they were all just hanging out somewhere and bam, he just happened to walk by, or she happened to walk by and having a bad day. Just saying. I mean, it's hard to say what goes through people's minds. Yes,
Other than Japan.
that is a good one right there. A Russian.
Exactly. Yeah, they actually do. They have a sake. Yeah, they got sake vending machines and tobacco vending machines. Now, yeah, the sad thing is kids do have access to it, but they usually get in big ass trouble if they don't. They do that because you're right. They trust their citizens. Why? Because there's a little bit of an honor system over there. You know what? You're absolutely right. I mean, it's not like they. Yeah, yeah.
I will actually, if we go further back in American history, you'll find out in 1980s to 1970s, they actually had them in subways. The vending machines for tobacco.
Tobacco.
They never had the alcohol, but they did have the tobacco. You
Mhm.
could go up and get a pack of cigarettes out of a vending
Oh,
machine.
and let's talk about that. How did people treat others in the 70s and 80s? A little bit more respect than they are today.
I said this on a post a while back. This is a while back. I did say this, and I got called an idiot because I said I can't remember what the post was about, but it was something to do with the whole area of the human rights movement thing that they were trying to pull.
Hey, what?
And I made the statement of, well, I'd rather live back in the 1970s and 80s where they treated people with respect. And I got called an idiot, and yeah, so there was that.
What's going on with our streaming destinations? My
They're,
Facebook.
ha- they're having problems at the moment because I'm going from 2 to 4 like constantly. People are coming in and out. I don't know if it's kicking them out or what.
Well, my Facebook one just got turned off.
I don't know what's going on then. I don't have a clue. What else was I going to talk about tonight? Oh, yes, Capioca County, Arizona.
Maricopa.
That one too.
That's what. Pronounce it right, you idiot.
Who cares? You lead the way. You brought that one up. I just introduced it.
How would you feel if you, as a voting citizen, go to the place where you're told to vote and they told you you cannot vote?
I don't know how I would feel, but I would say that's unconstitutional. And I would definitely want to record that and probably tell them to repeat it again for the camera so I could forward that shit right up to the highest person I could get a hold of.
I tell you this. Because right now, let me see.
I'm going to my Facebook real quick and seeing if mine's still up. You know what's weird is it doesn't even show that I'm live right now on mine.
Yeah, me neither. We got a lot of problems.
Chief, can you go to my page and see if I'm live on my Facebook? Because I'm not seeing it.
Depending on what website you go to, and maybe I should be careful because I don't have an official source. What's your using? Some people are saying it's 17,000. Some people are saying it's 70,000. Some people are saying a couple 100,000. People are saying that many people weren't allowed to vote in Maricopa County. They were turned away. because AKA the voting machines weren't working when they were told to go somewhere else, and when they went to there somewhere else, then they were told they couldn't vote because that's not where they're supposed to vote. And you had so many people that weren't allowed to vote. Whether that changed the fate of the midterm election, no one knows. All they know is when you got people. All I know is this: if you're not, if people aren't, they're not counting your vote, there's a problem. And that doesn't matter if you're voting Republican, Democrat, Independent, or you just want to go in there and write Mickey Mouse on it. If you're not allowed to vote, then there is a problem. That's the first step of this problem. That's a big problem. I mean, so this isn't just some random Republican saying, hey, it's so fair, we got screwed out of an election. No. I'm saying if it is true, and anybody should be on my side about this, whether you're a Republican or Democrat or Independent, if you are a legal age, if you're 18 or over and you are an American citizen and they tell you you cannot vote, that is so wrong on so many levels. I don't even have a word to describe it. I mean, and I would hope everybody would be on my side about that. Do I see what?
I'm sure a lot of people is. Yeah, Paul, I see this, but I'm not seeing him on mine.
Seeing what?
He is in the chat saying, do you see this? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, see, I know where he's saying what he's saying. I just don't know what's he, do we see what? Look, anybody that's out there, we do apologize for any of the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
It probably won't be live. It probably won't be live on my Facebook because I don't think I started it in the beginning. But I mean, that's okay.
I don't know what's going on. All I know is we still have up to 5 viewers now. We're at 39 minutes in.
I don't know if it's probably all Paul trying to figure out.
You're on mine, but I can't see it at all.
Is A Russian even still here?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Things are weird, and I wish I could understand it. What is Ghost Facebook page? Yep, A Russian's here. He put up a Dorito chip. All right. If anybody else is in here right now, comment and let us know if you're in here. And if you have a conspiracy, put it in the comment section. We want to know about it. We want to talk about it.
And also, Russian, what do you have to say about what we've said so far? Do you agree, disagree? We're open for comments. Dude, it should be up on the top. It should be the haunted house logo, the one with the wolf silhouette.
So you're on Twitch, right?
I was on Facebook page, but the comments don't go through. Yeah, we're technical difficulties, Russia. We're trying to figure it out. But I was here since the. Well, okay. Well, what comments did you have? I mean, why don't you put them here, and we can talk about them.
So he's been here the whole time. Then, if he was on the Idaho murders.
Well, he said he was commenting on our Facebook page, but our comments weren't coming through. So go ahead. Why don't you share your comments here, and
he was on Twitch, and they weren't coming through.
It says here he was on the Facebook page.
No, he's on Twitch.
Well, now he is, but
I don't know. About what he's on. I'm getting a little warm here.
Do you have a comment that you'd like to share?
If anyone does, let us know, man. We're eager to hear. Also, for those that just joined, and of those that probably did follow in last week, I will repeat. I did follow up on the other two that I said I would. One is an unknown metal ball, like an orb. They say it's an unknown metal, and they think it's part of unearthly. Hence, why they say it's part of alienish. So you can take that one as you will. I don't really know anything else about that one. I know they found it in their yard. The other one that I was going to say was the 5G. That one is scientists believe it doesn't have anything to do with health concerns. So take that one as you will. It is science. We know they ain't right all the time. So, a Russian, you put, well, I was just saying that I believe that the murderer is a friend or a student of one of the victims. I mean, it's a house almost full of girls. It's possible someone could have been jealous. I was thinking the same thing, but
You weren't.
why one guy? I mean, this guy is out of nowhere, so were they maybe fighting over him? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different theories we can make with this.
Now that is something that
See,
is serious
right
to
there.
say.
Hey,
And serious
right here. Look what he just
Yep.
said. And
We
Russian, I said this. I said it didn't have to be. It could be a female. It could be a woman.
I never said it couldn't be a woman.
No,
I
it
never
couldn't.
once said it couldn't.
But
I never once said.
and
English doesn't have a neutral term. Okay, so I like I said, people say he until they're proven otherwise. It's not like we're doing it because we're disagreeing. Anyway,
it's just common that most people, even police, say he. The victim is a he. You know what I mean? So could be a girl, and he. If the girl's had defensive wounds and proven she fought back her attacker. And see, that's something else that we're probably not looking at too. Maybe some of these wounds are them defending themselves back. Maybe, and who knows? Maybe it's more than one person that attacked them. Maybe there was two.
They haven't found evidence on that yet.
See, I like this. And the murder was so bad, the blood was seeping outside the walls.
See,
I
that's
didn't
why
know
I'm
anything-
thinking
I
with all
didn't
the
know
rage,
anything about that.
all the rage
Ooh,
that
wait,
there
wait,
was.
wait. Hey, Chief, new one just popped up. Insidious streaming conspiracy theories Facebook. We are having trouble streaming the
I know, I'm reading it.
Yep.
So far, everything is live
you'll get
except for
pizza for
Ghost's
this.
Facebook page that I wasn't able to do it.
He says you owe him pizza for this.
hmm And by the way, quick shout out to Lacey0607 for sharing this podcast on her Twitch.
Oh, thank you, Lacey. Yes, big shout out, Lacey. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of these that
I'm thinking that because of what he said, there was so much blood, it was too much rage. It had to be personal. No way in hell that was random.
well, I'm more wondering if I mean, who says it has to be it could have been random? I mean, I don't know.
Because no one does that much rage Unless it was.